Hello and welcome back, YouTube. So sorry I haven't done any streams in a while. I have no excuse. I have literally no excuse. I'm gonna be doing streams again. I was kind of feeling a little bit burnt out from doing too much of this game right here. So I kind of wanted to take a little bit of a break. I was doing other games. No one was really watching them. It looks like most of the people on my Twitch want to watch Pokemon, which is fair. That's absolutely fair. I just was I didn't want to feel burnt out, especially with the next DLC coming out soon, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't too burnt out for that DLC to come out. So yeah. Also, all I can do now is just be shiny hunting, and yeah, that takes a lot of time. I will be doing a new stream. I want to make a new stream schedule. Because I think one of the problems was I was streaming literally every single day. So I'm going to be changing that. I'm going to be setting up a stream schedule, figuring that out. I'm going to be getting a new job soon, so I'm going to make sure that the stream schedule works around the job. So yeah, I need to figure that out. So once I get my job, so probably by September, I would say. I know that's a little bit away, but by September, I will have 100% a full schedule, and I'll have a schedule for YouTube and for Twitch. If I don't have a new video like this, like I'm actually recording for YouTube, then I will probably just upload a stream archive for YouTube. But yeah, I want to actually have a schedule for both, because if I don't have a schedule for both, I will just do what just happened again, and it will just be no uploads, no streams for a while. I mean, I was streaming Fairy Tail for a while, though. I platinumed the game now. It didn't really seem people were really interested in watching it, so I just finished it myself. So yeah, today I wanted to do my Switch collection video, because it seemed like my collection videos are actually fairly popular. So I thought I would do the Switch, because it's a pretty great console. Everybody likes the Switch. The Switch is pretty awesome. I actually have two Switches. I got this Switch right here. This is the still the original first model Switch. I got this the year it came out. I got this around... This was my Christmas present to myself. Around that time, I bought it for myself. I bought it with Breath of the Wild, and the reason why I was getting it is because of Mario Odyssey. I actually don't have Mario Odyssey anymore. I gave it to my older brother and his kids. I technically was letting him borrow it, but I was just like, screw it, I don't care. I am missing only one of my games here, and that's because a friend of mine is borrowing it, and, yeah, there's no point in me going to get it, because I can just talk about that game briefly. But yeah, I also have, Switch Lite. I got this for really cheap. It was $180, with two Switch games with it, and, three Switch games with it. One of them was Breath of the Wild, and I sold, Breath of the Wild to my friend of mine, or I traded it to him for... I think it was some cards for a card game, and they were about the value of the game, so that's actually pretty awesome. So yeah, let's go through the Switch games, and then if we have time, I'll do digital, but depending on how much talking I do about some of these games. No particular order. First things first, we got Limited One's version of the physical version of ToeJam and Earl, Back in the Groove. I love ToeJam and Earl. I grew up with Sega Genesis. I have original. This is a remake of this game right here. It's a remake of ToeJam and Earl on Genesis. This is a great game. I personally like Panic on Funkatron more. I would have liked them to remake that. This thing has done decent, so maybe if it's done good enough, the company that did it, which I actually don't know who did it, hopefully they'll make a remake of Panic on Funkatron, because that would be awesome. Yeah, this is a really fun version of it. So if it's a more like a top-down, how to describe this game? You know what? Go get it. It's like $7 on PSN or Switch. I'm pretty sure it's around $7. I recommend buying this game. Like 100%. It's a fun game. If you like old school games, you'll love this game. It's kind of like a dungeon crawl. It's hard to explain this game. Is it online? No, I think it's in person. So it's in person 2-player. But yeah, when I saw that they were releasing this on Limited One games, I had to buy it. I've only gotten two things on Limited One games. This, and I also got the Breast Cancer Awareness Sega Genesis controller. which I use for my PC, because it said, oh, it works on Switch, PS4, and PC, Xbox One. I could maybe find a couple games that it worked on Switch. None of the games I wanted to work on Switch worked on it. It's kind of annoying. PC pretty much works with everything. We got Card Fight Vanguard. This is a card game that I like to play with my friends. This is a Japanese-only release of this game. Sadly, it does not have an English one, even on digital, which is lame. Yeah, it's kind of just like if you ever played like the Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, it's kind of similar to that, where it's just like a simulator of the card game. There is some kind of bullshit in this where it's like you get some in the anime. They have some powers where they can know what cards are coming up and stuff like that. So you get those. You kind of get powers like that. I'm pretty sure on the online play you don't. I've actually not done this game online yet. It did come out last year, but it's a fun game. It has a story. I mean, it's in full Japanese, so I have no idea what's happening. So I just skipped through it because it's actually different to the anime. But yeah, it's a fun game. It actually came with a promo code. That the version of the promo code, his name is Exculpate the Blaster. That promo code is it's the original artwork of the card, because it's like a new. They kind of like did a reboot of the series. The annoying thing about that card is in English, that card is very expensive. That's a very expensive card because it's only had one reprint. In Japanese, I actually don't know the price of it, but I'm gonna guess it's fairly cheap because it got reprinted in a game that a lot of people bought. So that's kind of annoying because that card is about a $40 card right now because it's used in some of the best decks in the format. We also got Super Dragon Ball Heroes, another card game, World Mission. This kind of came out at a bad time for me. It came out a day before I went to my new job last year. It was like April 8th or something like that, and I literally left on the 9th to go to a different province, and I was super nervous and stuff like that going to this, so I literally I maybe played an hour of this, and I put it onto the back burner because I was just preparing myself for the job, and a new game started to come up and piling up, and this game just kept piling and piling and piling down, and I never finished it, and I don't know if I'll be able to go back to it. Eventually I will. This will be eventual return back to. But yeah. If you've never played it, it's originally this is the first English release of a Dragon Ball Heroes game. It's a card game that's in Japan. It's an arcade-based card game where you have cards that you move them around on a little arcade board, and it's actually pretty cool looking. But never been released out in English territories. Always been Japanese. They decided to release this game on Switch, which was really nice of them. Bandai Namco published it, but Demps did it. This was actually one of the games I got with my Switch Lite. Skyrim. Do I really have to say anything? Is the game actually in here? Most of my cartridges are actually not in these things. Yeah, Skyrim. Do I really have to say anything about this? The kind of cool thing about this is I have the DLC now. I remember playing this game back when it came out. Back when it came out, it was Remembrance Day for Canada. So during that day, I remember my brother went and got a copy of it, and I remember a lot of my friends were waiting for, once Remembrance Day was finished, they went and got some copies of it. I remember like talking with a friend of mine back in Cadets about that, saying that he was excited to be able to finish this up and go and do that. Then when I got home, my brother had it, and he was playing it. I watched him play it after he was done for a little bit. I played a lot of it. Unpopular opinion right now, I don't think it's the greatest game of all time. I don't love it as much as so many people do. For me, I don't, unless certain games I can keep playing, but because I want to play a lot more games, I just kind of played through the story of this, and because there's so much content, and because I know I'm never going to finish this game, I just lost interest with it. A game that's designed like an MMO or something like that, or like open world sandbox games, I'll play those games, but I'll play those games every once in a while. But I have other games, like instead of Skyrim, that I would play as like that, so yeah. Sorry to all the Skyrim fans, but I'm not too crazy about this game. But I mean, it's Skyrim. It's not a terrible game. It's an awesome game. It's a really good game. I just don't love it as much as everyone else does. But hey, that's perfectly fine. Not every game has to be loved. I don't have to love every game that everyone loves. So yeah, here's another game I don't love. Actually, I want to give this game a second chance. Dark Souls Remastered. I played this originally. I had a friend that kept telling me to play Dark Souls. He kept telling me to play it. And I got it on PC, and I played it on PC, and it was alright. I played the Prepare to Die edition. It was alright. Turns out that that version is one of the worst versions to play of this original game, and that the re-release versions on Xbox One and PS4 were really good to play, and this version's apparently decent. So I'm probably going to play this. This also has the DLC. This was also with Skyrim when I got the console. So I got these games pretty much for free because $180 for a Switch Lite. Both of these games were fairly new because I'm pretty sure they came out last year. This one was 2017. Pretty sure Dark Souls was last year, wasn't it? I don't know. It doesn't say. 2018. So yeah, this is 2018, this is 2017. So both fairly new for the Switch back then, last year. But yeah, kind of nice. Not played too much of those games, but yeah. Here is one of the Switch games that I bought the Switch for. When the Switch came out, I was living with my friends, and my friend on day one got a Switch with Breath of the Wild, and he finished it in about a couple weeks, and then he was kind of done with his Switch. So I'm like, hey, I was watching him play it. Just a second, I'm moving my microphone. I just realized it's at a weird angle. So I was watching him play it. I'm like, that looks kind of cool. I want to try that game. So I gave it a try, and I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked. And quick little backstory about me. I don't really like Legend of Zelda too much. I've never really been a huge fan of it. There's been the games here and now I would like. I would like the original 2D games like Link to the Past and Link's Awakening on Game Boy. I love those games. Those games are awesome. But I've never really gotten into the 3D games. Ocarina of Time is one of the most popular games of all time. Never really been a big fan of it. I own it on 64. It's behind me, actually. Never been a huge fan of it. Breath of the Wild took my breath away, kind of. It was such an awesome game. And literally, I wasn't planning on getting the Switch because I didn't play the previous two Nintendo generations. I didn't like the Wii too much. I own a Wii now with a handful of games. And I don't own a Wii U, and to be honest, I don't see the point because a lot of the good Wii U games are getting ported to the Switch. So, yeah, this game, completely changed my mind on Nintendo, because I was kind of iffy on the Switch. I'm like, it's just another gimmicky console. I don't want to buy another, come on, just make a proper console. And I played this game, and I'm like, well, this game's worth me buying a Switch for. And then once I moved out of his place, I bought a Switch. I bought a Switch, bought this, and then a couple weeks later, but Mario Odyssey came out, and I went and bought that. I bought it around the time of the first restocking of the Switch, because if you remember correctly, for the first while when the Switch came out, if you didn't have a pre-order on the Switch, you didn't get a Switch. You didn't get a Switch, absolutely not. And then around Mario Odyssey, around that time, the month leading up to it, was when they started reprinting the Switch. So they started bringing them back out. But they were only bringing out the black Joy-Con versions, which I'm fine with, even though I wanted the blue and red ones, because those things are cool looking. So I jumped on that, because I'm like, okay, there's a Switch at Walmart. My EB Games didn't have any, so I'm like, I'm going to jump on this, I'm going to buy it at Walmart. Bought this. I think I bought something else also with it, but I can't remember. But yeah, I jumped on it, and I do not regret it. It's one of my only big video game purchases that I've never regretted because I played through it so fast. Another Zelda game that I actually absolutely love. Link's Awakening. This is a remake of one of my favorite Zelda games of all time. I love the original Link's Awakening. I sadly don't also this inner artwork. That's so good. I actually don't have the original Link's Awakening anymore. I used to have the regular cartridge, and then at one point I had DX, which is the Game Boy Color / Game Boy version. it was one of the when the Game Boy Color first came out, they had like the black cartridges that would work on the Game Boy and work on the color. On the color, it would have like it would be in color, and it would have some extra features. Like there was a color dungeon for deluxe. Yeah, this game is fantastic. Looks like everything is. I normally don't like stylized, but holy crap, is this game good? This game is just so good. They made the controls so much better. They just made it. If you like old school Zelda games, which is what I like the more old school. I like the more retro with the NES, Super Nintendo, and Game Boy Zelda games. I love those games. Absolutely, those are some of the best games. I still think that Link to the Past is one of the greatest games of all time. That game is fantastic. Not even a Zelda fan, and I love that game. This game is crazy good, and I would love to see a Link to the Past remake in this style. I think that would be awesome. I could even see the Oracle games in this. The Oracle games in this would be awesome. Those were the Game Boy Color games made. I'm pretty sure they used the same engine as the Link to the Past engine, which the Link to the Past engine on Game Boy, that was extrememely impressive that they were able to get those big of sprites on the Game Boy, because they literally took the Link to the Past sprite for Link and they were able to like demake it onto the Game Boy, and it still looked very similar to the sprite that was on the Super Nintendo, and that was extremely impressive that they were able to do that and make it still look good. With this, obviously, they have the technology. Now, there is one complaint that a lot of people complain about. People don't think that this should be a full-priced $80 game. $80 for Canada, $60 for you guys, because $79.99 for Canada. People don't think that this should be a full-priced Switch game. Now, I do have one thing to say. First things first, it's Nintendo. Second thing, yes, it is a shorter game, but I mean, it's a remake of a Game Boy game. That's fully reasonable. Also, the amount of work that went into this game, it 100% deserves that price tag, and I did not mind paying it at all. Absolutely not. I was also able to get the rare amiibo. That thing was difficult to find. I literally just pre-ordered it on Amazon. I was stuck out in the middle of nowhere during that time at my work. My work was I was working in literally technically the middle of nowhere of Alberta. The closest town to me was an hour away. Technically, I lived in a town, so I just ordered this game on Amazon. I didn't have the chance to pre-order anything at EB Games because the closest EB Games to me was 2.5 hours away. So yeah. Next game, this is a very recent game. I did do a stream of it. No one watched it. Story of Seasons, Friends of Middletown. It's a remake of a port, which was supposed to be a port, but it was kind of a new game. Does that sound confusing? It's totally not confusing. This game is crazy good. This game is so good. So, if you've never heard of it, it's a Harvest Moon series, but they don't call it Harvest Moon anymore. Pretty much a small story short. The developers of Harvest Moon, which originally it was Farm Story in Japanese. Actually, I think that's still the technical name. They brought it out. They got a publisher in North America to publish it for. So it was Marvelous that made it, which the logo's right there. They were originally called something else during the Super Nintendo era and 64 era, but then they changed their name to Marvelous because I'm pretty sure they absorbed a company. Or they got absorbed by a company. But they had their publisher, Natsume, in North America to bring out their games to North America. Then they bought a company called Xseed, which you probably heard of Xseed, and they're like, why are we paying a different publisher to publish our game when we have an American publisher now? So they're just like, hey, Natsume, peace out. We're going to go with Xseed now. But Natsume is like, okay, but we own the rights to the name Harvest Moon. So we're going to continue making shitty Harvest Moon games to hopefully undersell your Story of Season games. But the Story of Season games are literally the original Harvest Moon games. So yeah. If you want to get a good Harvest Moon game now, you have to buy the Story of Seasons games. Don't buy a Harvest Moon game after, I think it's Harvest Moon, one of the 3DS one. No, I think it's a DS one. I think it's Harvest Moon DS is like the last proper Harvest Moon game. I might be wrong about that. But yeah, great game. I recommend it. Also, it came with a manual. Also, the pre-order bonus was a strawberry cow. How can you not love that? It's so awesome. The thing sells for like $50. It was selling for $70 at launch. We got Smash Bros. Do I really have to say anything about Smash Bros? It's Smash Bros. Come on. It's Smash Bros. I literally have nothing to say about Smash Bros. Oh yeah, I also have Animal Crossing on digital on the Switch because I could not find a physical copy of that at all. Literally nowhere. If you didn't pre-order that game because it was pretty early in the COVID stuff, literally impossible to find a physical copy of that. Now you can, but I already bought it months ago. I kind of wish I didn't buy it because I don't really like it too much, but I will do a stream of it eventually. So then I'll drop my opinions on that. We only have 3 games left. Well, technically 4 games, but this is kind of just one game. We got Sword and Shield. This is the game I stream a lot. Everyone kind of, at this point, if you watch my streams, you know my opinions of this game. They're good. Not my favorite Pokemon games, but definitely not my least favorite. They're definitely better than... They're better than XY. They're better than Damn It Pull. They're tied with Gen 3. I'll say that. This generation is definitely tied with Gen 3. It doesn't hold a candle to Gen 5, Gen 2, Gen 1. I like Gen 3 more than this. Yeah. But yeah, love this. Did I talk about... I feel like I missed a game. Did I miss a game? Where is it? Oh yeah, here we go. I did miss a game. Let's go Pikachu. I was actually not looking forward to this game. I thought this game was going to be utter garbage. I'm like, oh, they're mixing Pokemon Go with the main series Pokemon. Why? Go screw yourself. Don't do that. I got it. I sadly only bought just one version because I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to like this game. I played it, and I actually enjoyed it. Yes, it's not as good as the other Pokemon games. You can breeze through this game easy. You can literally just play through the whole game with just any Pokemon. I broke the game really early on. I mean, it's pretty much the remix of Pokemon Yellow. But not really, because it kind of has a new-ish story, because you're actually not Red and Blue. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it's good games, actually. Now that Sword and Shield are out, I don't really recommend this. But I mean, if you have a kid that likes Pokemon Go, try to get a copy of this. I think they're about $50 now at EB Games. You can buy actual, like, brand new copies. I mean, hey, that's $20 off. $30 off. Yeah, because games are $79.99 in Canada. And apparently going up. That's kind of dumb. Last but not least, my favorite video game series. One of my favorite video game series, I gotta say. My favorite Nintendo series. Tied for my favorite Nintendo series, because I love Pokemon. The Fire Emblem series. I got both of the Fire Emblem games on Switch. I got Fire Emblem Heroes. I bought the special edition. I literally bought this game knowing I wasn't going to play this game. I bought it. I played it. Don't like it. I like the Dynasty Warrior stuff, but I don't know. The recent Dynasty Warrior stuff has been kind of meh. This game was alright. They did the gameplay was awesome. They're tying the Dynasty Warrior stuff with Fire Emblem was pretty cool. The level ups, the stuff like that. That stuff is cool, but they just did a bad job with their character choices. Also, the special edition was kind of lame, but I mean, it was only $10 more, I'm pretty sure. I actually don't remember how much this was. I didn't pay attention to the price. I knew I was going to buy it because it's Fire Emblem. And then I got Fire Emblem Three Houses. I need to finish this game. I love the Fire Emblem series. I've played a decent amount of this game. I've gotten to the time skip. I need to finish this game because I love the Fire Emblem series, and I like this game. It kind of came out at another bad time. I was really deep into my work, so it was kind of just like I wasn't really thinking about this game. I was kind of coming home, doing stuff. I was also trying to get into major weight loss, so I wasn't really playing any games because I needed to do that. But I want to get back into this game now that I'm back in my hometown, even though... Yeah. I want to get back into this. I don't really feel like playing a single-player game, to be honest. I've been kind of wanting to play multiplayer games. I've been playing games with my brothers and playing games with my friends. I've been playing a lot of Star Wars Battlefront 2 on PS4. But yeah, I think we could do some Switch. Oh, I don't have my Switch hooked up for recording. We will not do some Switch stuff. But I can just quickly run through. Oh, missed a physical game. My friend has it. Taiko no Tetsu Drum and Fun. It was released on Switch, PS4, and I think Xbox One. It was actually released in English and Japanese. I have the Japanese release because it was cheaper. It's a drum-based game where you have two notes. You probably heard of it. You have two notes. You have one drum in the middle. You have one spot in the middle. You have one beat on the side. And it's actually a lot of fun. It's a really fun game. It kind of reminds me of like the bongo drums from Jungle Beat, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat on GameCube. Those were fun games, actually. But yeah, the Switch kind of surprised me. I thought it was going to be another one of Nintendo's gimmicky, dumb systems. And I mean, it's a gimmicky system. It's not really dumb, though. Like, yeah, it's definitely gimmicky. It's definitely consoles I liked more. But yeah, I like that it went back to console. I also just love handhelds. But I think the Switch Lite is a lot nicer as a handheld, just because it has a longer battery life. And the Joy-Cons aren't fucked up on this thing, because my Joy-Cons drift now. Thanks, Nintendo. But yeah. Yeah, I recommend the Switch. I definitely do. It's fun. It's a fun console. I mainly play the Switch now, actually. I don't really play my PS4 super often. But, yeah. A lot of fun. Recommend it. Get a Switch. Also, buy Star Wars Episode 1 Waso on Switch. It's awesome. You can get a physical with limited run games. I need to still do that. Yeah. Bye. Don't worry, I'll make a schedule soon.